right, everybody, I wanted to do something special and talk about the two parts, the path to purpose. And that's really what it's all about. That's what we're here for, right? We're born for such a time as this. We live in incredibly interesting times. There's a lot going on. There's more information than we can even filter through. It's overwhelming, it's exciting, it's scary, it's nerve-wracking. And ultimately, we're here to find why we're here, right? Like that's what each one of us is here to do, right? We're here for a specific reason, a specific purpose, and only you can discover what that is for yourself. No one can do it for you, literally nobody. Now, there are people who have been through this process, begin to understand it, and can help you with tools along the way. But as far as doing the work and implementing this and figuring it out and finding the nuance and the true shape of your soul, discovering that, that's the beauty, that's the gift that you have. That it's a pretty amazing gift, right? With all this noise out here, all these things going on, there's a pure signal in here. And it's for you to discover. And that's why we're all here. So that's why I'm on this mountaintop and I've planted my flag here on purpose. Purpose is really about finding the one thing that you're here to do, okay? And then from there, we're going to build on that one thing, but there should be one thing, one very specific thing that you're here for. The one thing, okay? And once you discover this, things get pretty cool because now you can start to prioritize your life. And what should happen at this point, once you discover the one thing, is you begin to put all your other activities, your, exercises, you do chores, all these different things, right? Our day-to-day stuff, all focus toward this one thing. They should all be somehow complementing your purpose, the one thing that you're here to do, right? So whatever that is. So it's also possible to have like more than one thing, right? Like for me, my purpose is to bring people joy, right? It sounds a little bit general, and I think that is kind of the nature of discovering your purpose. It is going to be a little bit general, and that's really the whole point, right? There's a lot of different ways that I can bring joy to people, right? Like I can make videos on YouTube or wherever, right? Like that's one thing that serves my purpose. I can, like I'm doing on Friday, do stand-up comedy or improv comedy. That will bring people joy. I can also crack a joke in the grocery store line, right? When I'm standing in line and make friends with the counter person, right? The person that's checking me out. So all of these things ultimately need to come back to or support your purpose, your one thing. And again, your one thing is not going to be your role in society, a dishwasher, a garbage picker-upper, like a TV producer, even a comedian, right? Like, it's just not. That's not the one thing. The one thing that you're here to do, it might be to challenge people's preconceptions. It might be to beautify the earth. And you'll know that when you find it, you'll know exactly what it is. And from there, you can build upon that, right? So you find the one thing, and then we start to organize our life in a way that supports that one thing. Doing the things that we can do to really express that one thing and give our true gift to everyone, right? And so that could be any number of things, right? Even if we have, let's say dead-end job right now, right? Which we've all been there, that we hate. We can still rent ourselves out, just be there for that time and give that one thing, right? Like I bartended for like 7 years until the point where my heart literally gave up and said, I can't do this anymore. I was like walking around like this. Everyone saw the look on my face. I had to stop doing that job. I literally did it as long as I possibly could, and I was renting myself out and trying to give joy as I could. Now the universe was like, look, dude, it's time for you to do something else. All right, like you done here. So I had to let go of that. Even though it was a steady source of income, it was something that, I felt pretty comfortable and it was easy to do. I got in my comfort zone and all that. And so that brings me to my next thing. The path to purpose and to our deepest purpose, our bullseye. Of course, you've got to start out and figure out what our purpose is. But that path is going to be laid out for us in concentric circles, okay? We're going to find our purpose and we're going to begin to build upon that. So as we go deeper and deeper and deeper into our deepest purpose, we're going to begin to add layers to our purpose. For instance, and I learned this through the course, right? We learned this in the 3rd week, that your purpose is going to stay static, but you will always be able to build upon that purpose. So you'll be able to go and build another layer, build another layer, build another layer. So for me, my purpose at my core is to bring people joy. And another thing that I've learned about myself is that I'm also here to build bridges. I'm a bridge builder, meaning that I connect ideas and I also connect people together. And that's something that is part of my, purpose. So it all is coming back to that one thing of bringing people joy, and it's bringing people joy through community, through information, through whatever it is next that I'm going to explore, because this process, it doesn't end. It only just continues, and it becomes more and more and more inspiring and fulfilling and rewarding the deeper that you go. Now, these concentric circles represent fear. You'll know that you're going toward your purpose when you're doing something that you're scared to do. Now, this doesn't mean the type of fear that like, oh, this is bad, and oh, that's bad, and this is going on, and that's going on, and you should be scared. It doesn't mean that kind of fear. It means the type of fear where you're like, oh, damn, I really don't want to have to do this. Like people talk about soul lessons or whatever, they're like, you gotta come here to learn soul lessons, and that's why we incarnated into this earth. Maybe, I don't know. I'm not here to talk about that, but I can say that going to our deepest purpose over time is going to be by finding what it is that we're afraid to do next or resistant toward. Like, that's uncomfortable, right? Like, I don't really want to put myself out there. I don't really want to make YouTube videos. Okay, I didn't want to do this. I was afraid of this. The first time that someone shared my video on Facebook, I was mortified. I was like, oh my God, all my friends are going to find out that I'm trying to help people. It's like, dude, that's not a bad thing. And also, nobody really cares. That's the thing about it. Like, I was so afraid, right? Like coming down into here, right? Like, I've realized my purpose is to bring people joy. I've read the book, Reality Transurfing, made a couple of other audio books, right? And learned about goals and all these different ideas. And so, like, the next thing that sort of presented itself to me that I was horrified of was to begin to make YouTube videos. So that's like here, the next level of the concentric circle. And did I dilly-dally around that? You betcha. You bet I did. You betcha. And so this is kind of what might happen. You might be like, I don't know about all this. And then boom, you bust through, right? And then you get to the next layer of your fears and getting closer and closer toward your deeper purpose. Now, you might also just procrastinate all the way around and learn the same lesson again. Who knows? Again, there's no pressure. Nobody's making you do this. This is totally up to you. It's your free will. And you get to decide whether or not you're going to bust through that next wall of fear. When you finally do, you'll get closer to your deeper purpose and then finally bust right in to the bullseye. And so this is a lifelong process. It's not something that is over in a day or a few weeks or a couple of years. We're going to continue to go toward that fear, refining, and refining. And every time we go through this next barrier, this next fear blockade, we're going to pick up a new skill. We're going to learn something different about ourselves. We're going to add to that purpose, right? So bringing joy to people, right? Like, I get that. And that's always going to be encompassing of this, right? Making YouTube videos. Then I started doing stand-up comedy. That was really hard. Now I'm trying to book shows for myself and do like more stand-up comedy and things like that. So, putting sketches on the internet, boom, busting through that. each one of these circles represents a layer that we need to bust through and go to the next level of our path. Each one of these is like leveling up here. So each time we go through each one of these, we're getting closer and closer and closer to our purpose. Understanding that one thing, and each one of these concentric circles is going to contribute to this one thing as well, giving us more and more focus, more and more power moving toward our center and expressing our true selves, fulfilling us. And you know what? It's not all fun and games, but it's a lot better than just pretending like you don't have a purpose, which a lot of people will do, and that's fine. But look, we're here for such a time as this. That's what I'm helping people to implement and put into their life. And we have a whole community of people who are understanding this and putting it into practice and helping each other one-to-one and in groups to express their deepest purpose, to bring it to the forefront and put it into practice. So that's really what I'm all about at this point. I'm planting my flag here because the times that we live in are pretty bananas. And I do believe that we are here for this time. You call it the Great Awakening, call it the apocalypse, call it whatever you want. It doesn't matter. It is irrelevant, but you're here to give your gift. And I want to help you with that. I'm hopeful that it's something that you want to take the next step toward. One foot in front of the other, in front of the other, in front of the other. Just hit that next wall, bust through it, hit that next wall, bust through it. And I'd love to help you if you're interested in working with me on this process. Thanks so much for watching this video. I really appreciate your time, and I would love to work with you. If you're interested, click the discovery call link and let me know. I'll set up a discovery call with you and we'll make it happen. Peace.